Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another recap of Baddies Africa Season 7 Episode 6, Baddies in Safari. So let's check it out. So after the whole brunch fight, between K Rican, Dolly and Lex, everybody was like, then Natalie walks in and she was like she's tired of the fight. She also said that she wanted to speak to Diamond about the whole situation with the club and Anna. So before then, Natalie brings in a new baddie, Choco Brown from Nigeria, and Elsie was saying in her confessional like she's the real African. Look me up. I heard people actually looked her up and they ain't seen nothing. So Google, is she really popular like she said she is? But anyway, nonetheless, Natalie lets them know that they're getting ready for safari, but she pulls Diamond to the side, talk to her like, listen, if I'm telling you somebody is on baddie timeout and stuff, don't invite them to the club. And Diamond was like, so is this the last instance? Like, I don't want to just keep going back and forth. She was like, yeah, I'm trying to be, this and this and that, whatever. So Diamond was like, "We're going to safari." She's like, "I can't wear this." She was like, "Yeah, that's cool, whatever." They eventually hugged it out, and then as Natalie was walking away, um, Diamond was like, "I got my eyes on you too," like, and she's just like, "Whatever." So they everybody get on the sprinter. They change their outfits and whatnot. It's Pretty P, Ivory, Scotty, Diamond, basically co-killer fauna, all of them are over there on one sprinter. Then you got the rest of the girls up there with Rolling. So Ivory is fixing K Rican's makeup and stuff because she didn't get time to get her stuff done because production today was trying to go, so she had to go downstairs. So she fixed that up, and they was talking about how to fight with Dolly and them transpired. She was like, "Yeah, Michael Myers looking behind. She need to grow her edges back." And so Kay Rika was like, yeah, the whole fight really started between her on the bus talking about how she beat Diamond and Ivory's behind 2 times, and Diamond and Ivory is just like. But anyways, nonetheless, they do what they gotta do. Meanwhile, on the other bus, we got Rolly asking Choco how she feels about being on the bus. She was like being in the back. She was like, "It's cool, whatever." But then I feel like I walked into a mess. Girl, you already knew what you signed up for. You've been watching it since forever, so it is what it is. You already know what to expect. So meanwhile, after that, they get to a rest stop, and some of the girls get off. Meanwhile, we got Russian and Choco in the back, and there's some production there in front of them. And then Rolly, she happens to look back. She's like, "What are you whispering for?" She's like, "I was just telling her what I heard." She basically was telling how production be cutting out some of the stuff and they be making it worse than what it really is. And Rolly was like, "Why the heck are you telling her that?" Like, she knew what she signed up for. Basically, it's like she need to figure that out for herself. Like, it is what it is. So at this point, Russian has attitude between Rolly. Rolly's about to fight her. She wasn't trying to, but she's like, tuh. So eventually, they all get to the Safari Gate or whatever. Russian and her walk right next to each other. No words were being said, so basically, Russian was mad because Rolly came at her, so she sat where she sat, and that was it. So they did their safari and whatnot. They finished it and everything. It was beautiful to see. Like, this is what it's really like to be living in Africa up close and personal with the animals in their natural habitat. I mean, the closest I've ever been to one of those is on the monorail in the Bronx Zoo when you go look at the animals in their little containment. But that right there was just beautiful. So eventually they finish their thing, they get back off. Russian and Rolly had words being exchanged to each other. They end up getting into fights. Russian tried to kick Rolly and she ended up cutting her on her chin. Rolly was getting hers. Basically, they both got some hits in. They both pulled off each other's wigs, and yeah, that was that. So they get back to the house, and Dolly, being messy, is gonna take Choco and was like, "Listen, you can go sleep with Diamond." First of all, Natalie gave Diamond her whole quarter by herself. Like, she's not supposed to be sharing with nobody. She's supposed to be a mini Natalie, so she don't got to share with nobody if she don't want to. So Dolly came in, and Diamond really and her got active. Next, Stephanie from production, she was helping Diamond get Dolly. Like, what the heck? Yes, sis. Like, she was doing too much. So after that fight broke up, Choco and them was in the hallway. Diamond walked past, didn't know she ended up snicker her in her eye. Her eye was messed up for a good minute. Ivory was just like, what the heck did I walk into? Meanwhile, that fight then kind of died down, and it was just like Diamond was just like to Ivory and Pretty Pea because they came into her, and it was like, listen, it could have been all avoided had Dolly not come in the room. Like I would have eventually shared if she came back herself, but Dolly wanted to be messy. You got to deal with Mariah. Meanwhile, we got, I think the next day, Tavy is going off on Elsie because Elsie's still mad about her dapping them killer in the club. And it was just like, girl, let it be. Stop worrying about me. So they end up getting into a scuffle. And then Tavy was still loud, talking about going downstairs to go to the kitchen to talk to them. Meanwhile, Scotty came to console Elsie. And Elsie was like, what are y'all still doing here? She was like, who? She was like, yeah. She was like, I bet. And she walked down like, listen, you don't hand that stuff away. Oh, this is what it is now. Tavy's still going loud, talking about how Killer dapped up in the club. I don't think Killer really remember what happened because I think they was all drinking and whatever the case may be. So Tavy and it was being loud, and then you got the girls just looking like, what the heck? Tavy and Killer started getting into it. They ended up throwing the food and stuff off the counter. Yeah, this was this episode in a nutshell. Yeah, next week is gonna be a little bit more rowdy, but we're gonna see. So, with that being said, give me a like, comment down below some more suggestions, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.